What is going on, everyone? LeoBlade13 here, welcoming you back to another Dragoborne Let's Talk video. So today we are going to be talking about some really cool new black cards that have been revealed. And like always, Dragoracle has all these images posted, as well as the cards I have not yet talked about. And I know the cards shown on screen, I don't know if any of the other cards we're going to be talking about, but this one is in the 4th trial deck, and it is exclusive to the trial deck because it is a rare, so you will only be getting 2 copies per trial deck that you pick up, so might be worth looking into. I know it is definitely a good card, don't know if it's worth picking up for them. I think 2 might be fine, but it is a really cool card. So it's Cursed Eye Gargoyle. It's a 2-drop black creature with 2 attack, 3 endurance, with the effect, when this creature is destroyed, each player discards a card from their hand. So it does have some negative actions towards you, but I think it is also simple enough for your opponent to play around. They can simply just wait until they have a card that they don't mind discarding for this card, or before they destroy this card, and then you might be in a worse position if they leave it alive long enough and you end up playing out your hand and you only have 1 card left. They might choose that moment to attack it, and then you're forced to discard your final card. So I think this card can have some use, might end up hurting you more than it hurts them, but I do like that it's a 2-drop. I was recently building a black-blue deck. Don't know if the deck profile will be up by the time you're seeing this, but I noticed that there weren't a lot of good 2-drops for both black and blue, so I am glad we are getting more of those. And something else, this could be the final color for a machine deck if you're playing black, blue, green. You definitely have to play blue in a machine deck, and I think green is going to work as well. I think it's just that final color that fluctuates, but if you use this, it'll let you discard machines from your hand when it's destroyed, loading up your graveyard for a Vessel of the End. So I think that's a really cool way to use it. And of course there is other things that can combo with it, which we will talk about in future videos. But anyways, moving on to the next card, we've got Dark Diviner. So she is a 5-drop black card with 5 attack, 5 endurance, and the ability Siphon a black dice 4. So you do have to have at least a black 4, 5, or 6, preferably a 5 or 6 so you can keep your dice around. But her ability is that each player discards a card from their hand. Choose a cost 2 or less creature from your discard pile and return it to your hand. So if you have a 2-drop in your, if you have Cursed Eye Gargoyle and you use her ability and you discard him, you just add him right back to your hand and you don't lose anything while your opponent is forced to discard. So I do really like her effect, and plays really nicely with the Elder Dragon, which of course Cursed Eye Gargoyle does too. It's a pretty solid card. I don't know if it's worth running a lot of. I think the Elder Dragon is definitely a better choice, but it might be a fun 1 or 2 of in any discarding deck. But anyways, moving on to the final card we're going to talk about today, it is Dread Gravekeeper. He is a 4-drop with 3 attack, 5 endurance, and the ability Siphon X. Choose a cost X or less creature from your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. If you siphoned a red die for this ability's cost, this creature gets +1/+0 for this turn. So I'm not too fond of this card. I mean, all the black cards that we've seen so far, such as Halcyon and Cavalier, as well as Dark Diviner, they all return the cards from your discard pile back to your hand rather than putting it on top of your deck, which I much rather prefer. I mean, that's immediate card advantage rather than having to wait and draw it, and then by that time your opponent might have changed the field and you might not want that card anymore, but you're still locked into drawing it. So I'm not particularly fond of this card. Plus, siphoning the red die, it is kind of cute that that little synergy is in there, but it only gets +1/+0, which I don't think is going to be too relevant. But still cool to see more of these siphon abilities. I just wish we would get more low-cost effects, or low-cost dice effects. I think that would be cool because we're seeing all this siphon stuff. So with more siphon stuff, I think cards that require lower values, such as Rejuvenate, and I believe growth is a low cost, or it might be a 5 or a 6. I might be completely wrong about that. I think chromatic disturbance, I think that one's a green 1 to 3, but yeah, so stuff like that, that works really well in with these new cards that have all these siphon abilities. So it'll be interesting to see if we get the opposite effect in the third set, where they're instead the uh, boosting the value of the dice rather than decreasing it. But I guess we do already have some creatures that do that. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. But be sure to check out Dragoracle and the Facebook page. Links to both are down below, as well as follow me on Twitter. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any future Dragoborn content. But as always, thanks for watching.